Welcome back, Nancy Nerds, to Legend of the Crystal Skull. Okay, confession. I forgot to call Ned again. So that's what I'm gonna do first this episode, because I keep forgetting about Ned. That poor boy.
Hello, Nancy?
Hey, Ned.
It's about time you called. Did you make it to New Orleans okay?
Yes.
Have you seen Henry?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure I like the way you said that. Is he okay?
He's fine. Well, he's the executor of his great-uncle Bruno's estate, which he's not real happy about.
Right.
But he and his great-uncle weren't that close, so he's not grief-stricken or anything.
Super
Well then,
fine.
are you okay?
Other than being attacked on my way into Henry's house by a skeleton wearing a red ascot and getting knocked out by the smoke bomb he threw at me, I'm fine too.
What?
Let's just say that I've stumbled onto a mystery, and I'm not leaving till I solve it.
Why am I not surprised? Is
Oh
Bess with you?
dear.
No, but she has been helping me.
So tell me about this skeleton man.
Well, it was someone in a costume, obviously. He or she was leaning over something in the great room when I walked in and surprised them.
So they threw a smoke bomb at you and ran?
Yeah, I must have interrupted whatever they were doing.
What were they leaning over?
A scale model of the cemetery next door. Henry says his great-uncle Bruno made it so he could keep track of who was buried there.
Creepy.
Apparently, Bruno used to oversee the cemetery. And right near the scale model, I found a tracing of some kind of symbol. I'm thinking maybe Skeleton Man dropped it.
Why would Skeleton Man be interested in the scale model of a cemetery?
Good question. Maybe I'll take a real good look around in there and see if I can find out.
Good idea.
Alright.
I'm still trying to figure out how you got to be friends with Henry.
Well, we're not best friends or anything. Heck, we're not really even friends. I just feel sorry for the guy.
So
I mean, he never
weird.
hangs out with anyone between classes, and when I'd heard there'd been a death in the family, I just wanted to make sure he was okay all by himself down there.
Don't worry, he's fine. Although I think he misses his parents a lot. I saw him out in the cemetery by what I think is their crypt. He seemed pretty upset.
I'm not surprised. I get the feeling that what Henry looks like on the outside is just the opposite of what he looks like on the inside.
You know, you're a pretty nice guy.
Yeah, I
Aw.
know.
Bruno Bolet's housekeeper, Renee, is still here, despite the fact that she and Henry don't really get along that well.
Why do you think she's staying on?
She says it's because Bruno paid her in advance.
But you don't believe her.
Nope.
10% of Bruno's estate is supposed to go to her. Only she thinks, and with kind of good reason, that Henry's been selling off Bruno's assets on the sly. So it wouldn't surprise me if she's staying on so she can try to bust him.
What's this kind of good reason stuff?
I know for a fact that Henry sold a box of Bruno's things to a local curio shop.
So this Renee person isn't just being paranoid.
What this Renee person is freaky.
In what way?
She wanted me to drink some strange-looking concoction after I passed out from the smoke bomb, but she refused to tell me what was in it. And she wears this weird little pouch around her neck. Says what's inside it connects her to the energy that powers the universe.
She's probably harmless, but stay on her good side, just in case.
Are you
Right?
familiar with the legend of the so-called crystal skulls?
Is that where aliens supposedly scattered a bunch of perfectly formed crystal skulls all around the world like thousands of years ago? And all the skulls have different magical powers?
Something like that, yeah. Apparently Henry's uncle was the proud owner of the Whisperer, the skull that was supposed to make whoever owned it live forever.
Only now he's dead and another superstition bites the dust.
Maybe, maybe not. See, this book I found in Bruno's library said no one who has owned the Whisperer has ever died of natural causes.
So how did they die?
They were all murdered.
Come on, you don't believe that crystal skull stuff is true, do you?
Absolutely no.
Absolutely not. But right now, what I think doesn't matter. The people who knew Bruno had the skull, if one of them believed in the Whisperer's power, they may have figured the only way they'd ever be rid of Bruno was to cause his death.
But didn't he die of a stroke or something?
Heart attack.
Well, there you go. Natural causes.
Heart attacks can be induced.
Right.
You've been watching too many of those forensic detective shows.
That may be, but what's really interesting is the skull is missing.
That is interesting.
And I'll bet you anything that's what my bony friend in the red ascot was looking for.
Does Henry know where the skull is?
I haven't gotten around to asking him about it yet. But if that skull is still around here, I intend to find it.
I kind of figured that.
That's it for now.
Keep me posted. You got that?
Got it. Bye, Ned.
Bye, Nance.
All right, I finally called Ned. Go me. I guess I should call the doctor now and confirm that it was a heart attack. That would make sense.
This is Dr. Gilbert Buford's answering service. How may I help you?
I need to talk to Dr. Buford. Could you maybe give me a number where I can reach him?
No, ma'am, I cannot. Is this an emergency?
Sort of. I mean, it's not a medical emergency. See, I'm only going to be in town for a short time, and Dr. Buford and I have this mutual friend who died recently, and I just really need to talk to him about it.
Need some consoling, huh?
Yes, I need some consoling. That's it exactly.
Well, tell you what. It's against the rules to give you his phone number, but I can tell you that now that he's all but retired, Dr. Buford spends most of his evenings at his favorite gumbo stand down in the French Quarter. If you really need to talk to him, you can probably find him there.
Great. Do you know the address?
It's at the corner of Rampart and Domain.
Did you say Rampart and Domain?
I did indeed. Granny Pumpkin's Cajun Cooking.
Oh, wait.
They make some darn fine gumbo.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, and I'm truly sorry about your loss.
My loss?
That mutual friend of yours and Dr. Buford's?
Right. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Bye.
That's where Bess is. Let's see if Bess can go find him. Let's be Bess again. I
Hello?
think.
Hi, Bess. It's me.
So what's been happening? Tell me everything.
Well, let's see. Since the last time we talked, I was just about getting ready to...
Okay.
Interesting stuff.
But the reason I called is, I need you to talk to this doctor named Gilbert Buford, who, as it turns out, likes to hang out at a gumbo stand called Granny Pumpkin's Cajun Cooking, which should be right across from our hotel.
You just want me to talk to him? That's it? Nothing nefarious? No black ops stuff?
He was Bruno Bolet's doctor,
Black
and apparently
ops.
his best friend, too. I just need for you to see if he thinks there was anything weird about the way Bruno died.
What do you mean by weird?
I mean, I kind of think maybe Bruno was murdered.
Murdered? By whom?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Everyone's a suspect at this point.
Including this Gilbert Buford guy?
Well...
Great, I'm gonna be chatting up Jack the Ripper.
We don't know
I'm sure
that.
The guy's fine, but be subtle, just in case.
Well, I can see the gumbo stand from our balcony. If he's the guy that's sitting down there, I guess he looks harmless. Okay, I'll go talk to him.
Thanks, Bess. Let me know what happens.
Cheerio.
All right, let's go.
Why, hello, young lady. How kind of you to grace an old man with your lovely presence.
Are you Dr. Gilbert Buford?
I'm delighted to report that I am indeed.
Okay.
Do you mind if I join you?
Of course not. A little lively discourse would brighten this gloomy evening considerably. This here is my favorite spot in the whole city. Delicious gumbo, pleasing view, particularly now, I might add.
Oh.
My name's Bess Marvin. I'd like to ask you some questions about Bruno Bolet, if that's okay?
I'd prefer subject matter of a happier nature, but I do not want to seem inhospitable, so what is it you want to know?
Is there any doubt in your mind as to how Dr. Bolet died?
He died of a myocardial infarction, most likely caused by age-related atherosclerosis. Dying of a heart attack is all too common for people who are socially isolated, and Bruno Bolet had most certainly become that.
Oh.
I thought Bruno Bolet was your best friend.
Well, now, I was certainly his best friend, but I cannot honestly say that he was mine. Fact is, while socializing with my fellow man, particularly with pretty young women such as yourself, has always been a source of pleasure for me, Bruno was just the opposite. Unfortunately, the older he got, the more numerous his idiosyncrasies became, and the less concern about their negative effect upon others he became.
Did they do an autopsy on Dr. Bolet?
No. Given Bruno's advanced age and the absence of any indication of foul play, an autopsy was deemed unnecessary, and the body was cremated according to Bruno's wishes.
Where was Dr. Bolet when he had his MI?
In the foyer of his house, just inside the front door. In fact, I hadn't seen him for a while, so I picked that day to pay him a visit. I
Interesting.
walked up to the front door, found it unlocked as usual, opened it, and there he was, lying on the floor in obvious distress. The next thing I know, his housekeeper came running in and started shrieking and carrying on, until finally I sent her out of the room so she could summon an ambulance, and I could once again hear myself think. Well, let's see. Then I knelt down and saw that he wasn't breathing. So I pulled him away from the doorway so I'd have more room to work on him, and began chest compressions. I continued until the medics arrived, but nothing they did made a difference either.
Okay.
Was Dr. Bolet unconscious the whole time?
Yes, he was.
Can you remember anything that might indicate what he was doing by the front door? I mean, had he just come in from a walk? Was he wearing a hat? Was he holding anything? Had he dropped something? An umbrella? Sunglasses?
Wait a minute. Why, yes, he was holding something. A piece of paper. And on the floor next to him was an envelope. He
Ooh.
must have collapsed while reading a letter.
I want it. Can I has it?
Do you know what happened to it?
Now,
Give?
I know the letter was no longer in Bruno's hand when the paramedics arrived, so perhaps he released the letter when I moved him. And yet, I do not recall seeing it on the floor when they wheeled him out the door. Iggy.
What's icky?
Iggy. Iggy is an iguana Bruno befriended, then turned loose in his home. It soon developed the annoying habit of stealing paper and stockpiling it in the vent system.
Oh dear.
Are you saying an iguana made off with the letter Bruno had been reading?
It would not have been the first time a missing document ended up in Iggy's possession. Renee would periodically call me saying the lizard had absconded with one of Bruno's prescriptions and would I please write her up a replacement. In any case, Bruno once told me he was training Iggy. Said he taught Iggy to retrieve the things it had stolen.
Okay, let's see. Ooh.
Do you think it's possible that Renee caused Dr. Bolet's death by, say, hoarding the pills from those missing prescriptions and giving them to him all at once?
No. Had he died of an overdose of the medications I had prescribed, the manner of his death would have been quite different. But he died of a heart attack. Of that I am certain. However, I know for a fact that Renee is deeply involved in the practice of hoodoo. And as Bruno's housekeeper, she had ample opportunity to use it against my poor old friend.
Wait a second.
You mean hoodoo really works?
Young lady, never, ever underestimate the power of suggestion. If a person believes in something, even on a subconscious level, fantasy can easily become fact. And who knows what rubbish Renee filled Bruno's mind with? Drink this, don't eat that, this brings good luck, that brings bad, day in and day out. Even if he said he didn't believe a word of it, who knows how much his subconscious was absorbing? He was very old and vulnerable. So could Renee have caused Bruno to have that fatal heart attack? There's not a doubt in my mind she could indeed.
Did Dr. Bolet ever say anything to you about owning a crystal skull?
Why, yes. Yes, he did.
Oh.
In fact, he showed it to me once. Said it had magical powers. Said owning it was going to allow him to live forever. I thought it was utter nonsense and told him so. Well, he didn't appreciate that at all. Refused to talk to me for a full 2 weeks.
Do you have any idea where he kept it?
No. He was terrified that someone would steal it from him, so he told no one its location. Not even me. Tell me, Miss Bess, what do you know about that crystal skull?
This friend of mine,
well.
who is also a friend of Henry Bolet, you know, Dr. Bolet's great nephew, Anyway, while she was visiting Henry, she saw this book in Bruno's library about the legendary crystal skulls and was kind of intrigued and thought that since Henry said that you were pretty much Bruno's only friend, maybe Bruno had said something to you about it, and as it turns out, he had. That's all I know.
I see. Well, much as I'd like to believe that skull holds the key to immortality, I'm afraid Bruno's passing proves it's worthless. Although it would make an attractive paperweight, as I recall. Tell your friend not to give it another thought.
Guess I'll be running along.
Feel free to drop by anytime.
Interesting. Okay, so let's call Nancy back and tell her what we just found out. Because that was a lot of information. Like, a lot of information.
Hello? Hi, Nance. Okay, here's what's been happening at my end.
And that's pretty much it.
Good work. I'll take it from here. Thanks again.
Good luck. Bye.
Wow, okay, so there was a lot of phone calls I did. I got the tip to call Ned, which I finally did, and then apparently I already have what tells me how to put the paintings together. I don't remember what that is. Is it this? Is that the, what is it, 4? Is it 4 and then 5? It is 4 and then 5. Okay, what is this? TBF. Are these what the objects are? I completely forgot about this paper. Okay, so TBFM. TBFM. T for toothbrush. B for banana. F for fan. And M for monkey? Yes. Yes. Okay, and then LHAPU. LHAPU. LHA. Oh, X. A poodle umbrella. Oh, yes! Thank you for the hint, Terry. I completely forgot about that paper. Oh my gosh, between Ava telling me, what was it, 2 episodes ago to call Ned, and I forgot. And the fact that I completely forgot I even had that paper with me. What is in here? What's in here? What is this? Ooh. Eye of the Beholder? Cool.
Come on, Summer, give me a break here. You never said anything about that. Well, how was I supposed to know? I mean, what am I, telepathic? Look, I'll split it into 2, okay? What do you mean, something else? You've gotta be kidding me, Summer. I don't have that kind of money. No, I mean, I don't have it now. But I will, soon, okay? Bye.
Hi.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. Alright, where am I going? What is this? I don't have this
Locked,
key. Do
naturally.
I have this key? Is this the key? Nope. It's locked. Okay, so don't know how to get that open. Some kind of spider web thing? Interesting. So how do I get that open though? And who is Henry? Who's Summer? Who is Henry talking to? Is Summer like his girlfriend and she wants money for something? And what is this book over here? I have so many questions. Eye of the Beholder. Oh. Got another eyeball, guys. Got another eyeball. Apparently that's what I need. And where's Iggy? I need to find Iggy. Iggy's not here anymore. So he's in the ventilation? So I guess I gotta find the ventilation. Let's
Yes?
see. No, you don't want to talk to
I'm
me?
going to keep looking around.
Groovy.
Groovy. Okay. So let's try Renee.
Hello again.
Ooh, here we go.
Did Dr. Bolet ever say anything to you about a crystal skull? He may have referred to it as the Whisperer.
No, he never so much as mentioned a crystal skull, whispering or otherwise.
Were you in the house when Dr. Bolet passed away?
I was indeed. I was in the library cleaning when all of a sudden I heard a big thump. I hurried out to investigate, and sure enough, there was Dr. Bolet lying by the front door.
Oh,
and as
dear.
I rushed over to him, the door opened and in walked Gilbert Buford. He took one look at Dr. Bolet and hollered at me to call 911. So I ran back into the library and did just that.
Okay.
When I came back out, Gilbert was leaning over Dr. Bolet, listening for breathing, I suppose. And then he started pushing up and down on his chest. But it was too late. Even I could tell that Dr. Bolet was gone.
Yeah, what about this letter?
Gilbert recalls seeing a letter in Dr. Bolet's hand, as if he had keeled over while reading his mail.
I suppose it's possible. The mail does come about then. But I helped remove the body, and I surely don't recall seeing any letter. In the back of my
Interesting.
mind, I have always wondered about Gilbert Buford showing up at the door at that exact moment.
I understand that Dr. Bolet had some interesting pets, like an iguana.
That man never met a creature he didn't like. He'd train them to do all kinds of silly tricks, then let them run free, inside the house as well as out.
Okay. How?
Did he ever teach you how to make them do their tricks?
I never cared to learn.
Oh.
Don't get me wrong. I liked Dr. Bolet, I truly did. But I swear, sometimes his activities made as much sense to me as bathing in a bayou full of gators.
Nice talking to you.
Take care, hon.
Okay, so that doesn't help either. I still don't know what to do with this tomb. To try to get all of these up. I still don't know. I don't get it. I don't know what this does. Okay, cool. Glad I can look at these. Like I don't... Oops. Okay, so what did that do? No. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so... I don't know how to get into that room back there behind the stairs. I need a key, but I also need to find the iguana and his ventilation shaft in which he keeps letters. Are you in here, little dude? Are you in here? Secret door. Okay, nope, he's not in here. Alright, well, I'm gonna go ahead and leave this episode here. So make sure you put a like on the video. I finally called Ned and I got the pictures arranged, but I don't know where the key is to open that door. So help me out on where to find the key. Drop me some comments below, hinting me where I can get that key at. Alright, well, I'll see you guys in the next mystery. Bye!